tonight. Let this story be a soft lullaby to calm your soul. Immerse and the playful spirit of Clover, the bird's tale. This story is about Amaryllis, the kind girl, and Clover, a playful spirit, who together enjoy and learn from the world of birds. Once in a land where the trees whispered secrets and the rivers hummed lullabies, lived a kind-hearted girl named Amaryllis. She had the gentlest eyes, the color of a morning sky, and her hair floated like silken ribbons. Amaryllis adored birds. Their songs brought her heart immense joy. One spring morning, as she wandered through the blossoming meadow, she discovered a curious creature. It was Clover, a playful spirit who delighted in the games of nature. Clover Lawton was like the tinkling of golden bells, and his tiny wings glittered with every color of the rainbow. We two became fast friends. "Tell me, Clover," Amaryllis laughed. "I'll play with the birds," off Clover twirled, and a pair of sparrows joined them in a dance. Together, they devised a game where they would follow the sweeping patterns of the birds across the sky. Amaryllis felt as if she were flying too. It turned into weeks, and the meadow became a theater of playful antics. Heather tells Amaryllis how to understand the whispers of birds. "It isn't rain, I say," he said, "but totally Dickens stories." Soon Amaryllis could distinguish every chirp, tweet, and trill. She learned of a lark's first flight and a robin's hidden nest. One day, they came upon a bird with a broken wing. With Clover's guidance, Amaryllis mended the wing using weeds and twigs. The grateful bird sang a song so beautiful that it seemed to paint the sky with music. As the seasons changed, so did the landscape, but the bond between Amaryllis and Clover only grew stronger. They planted seeds for new flowers, ensuring the birds had plenty of nectar. On a golden autumn day, Clover shared a secret with Amaryllis. "For all of us is meant to journey with the birds," he whispered. Though sad to part, Amaryllis knew it was her destiny. With Clover's magic, she became lighter than air, her arms transformed into delicate wings. Flying high above, she bid farewell to her beloved friend. Now every spring, the birds return, singing Amaryllis' tale. Clover remains in the meadow, his laughter echoing under the stars. They cherish the bond they share, celebrating it through the symphony of life. For Amaryllis and Clover, the connection they fostered continues to live on among the birds they so dearly loved. Let's just move gently to the next story. Dan and Heather, a tale of togetherness. This story is about a young man named Dan and his guardian Heather, who together helped their village face a fierce storm, illustrating the power of unity and mutual support. In a quaint village nestled among rolling hills and vibrant fields, there lived a loving young man named Dan. Dan was known for his boundless kindness and how he always extended a helping hand to his fellow villagers. But what truly set Dan apart was his ever-present companion, Heather, a gentle loving guardian trusted with watching over him. Heather was not just any guardian. She had a radiant aura that sparkled with a warm, golden light, and her presence brought comfort and safety to Dandy's life. One crisp autumn morning, the village awoke to the sound of a distant thunder and dark clouds that loomed ominously over the horizon. The villagers rushed to secure their homes and fields, but the storm was approaching faster than anyone had anticipated. Dan, seeing the worry etched on everyone's faces, knew he had to act swiftly. With Heather by his side, they began visiting each home in the village, offering assistance where they could. Heather's calming presence and Dan's Tibbard's reassuring words worked wonders, dispelling much of the fear among the villagers. As they worked tirelessly, their bond grew stronger, an unspoken connection that provided strength and courage to everyone around them. Evening fell, and the storm arrived, fierce and unrelenting. In the heart of the village, Dad and Heather had prepared a large communal hall, gathering everyone together. The hall was adorned with lanterns, filling the space with a soft glow that mimicked Heather's calming light. The villagers huddled together, feeling safe in each other's company, their faith in Dan and Heather unwavering. As the winds howled outside and rain lashed against the windows, Dan and Heather walked among the gathered crowd, sharing stories and laughter. Heather's light illuminated the hall, turning the fearsome night into a moment of unity and warmth. Eventually, the storm passed, and the villagers emerged from the hall to find their village essentially unharmed. Amazed by the minimal damage, they looked to Dan and Heather with deep gratitude. They knew it was their togetherness and the unwavering support from Dan and Heather that had seen them through. From that day on, the bond in the village grew even tighter. Everyone understood that they were not alone, but together they could face any storm that came their way, whether brought by nature or life's challenges. And through it all, Dan and his loving guardian Heather stood as symbols of unity, kindness, and the extraordinary power of being there for one another. Here silence another tale to ease you closer to sleep. Flax and Pea's Safe Adventure. This story is about a young girl named Flax and her best friend, Pea the happy gnome, who held the baby deer while learning an important lesson about safety. Once upon a time, in the small village of Greenfields, there lived a young girl named Flax. She had golden hair that glistened in the sunshine, and big, curious eyes that always seemed to be searching for an adventure. Her best friend was Pea, a happy gnome who, true to his name, always seemed to have a big grin on his face. He wore a bright red cap and a cozy green jacket, which made him easy to spot, even in the thickest of woods. Together, Flax and Pea had the most extraordinary adventures. One day, as they were walking by the edge of the enchanted forest, they noticed a baby deer tangled in a net. Flax's heart sank, and without a second thought, she knew she had to help the poor creature. But Pea, being the wise, happy gnome, gently held her back. "We must be careful, Flax. Safety first," he said with a calm voice. Flax looked into Pea's wise eyes and understood. They both approached the baby deer slowly, checking for any potential danger. Pea used his small, nimble fingers to untangle the net, while Flax kept watch for anything suspicious. After a few moments, they freed the baby deer. It looked at them with grateful eyes and scampered away into the woods. "See, Flax, helping others is important, but we must always be careful," Pea reminded her. Flax nodded, appreciating Pea's wisdom. As the sun set, they decided to head back to their village. They followed the path they knew well, always aware of their surroundings. Flax felt a deep sense of contentment, knowing they had done something good while staying safe. That night, as Flax lay in her bed, she thought about their adventure. She knew that with Pea by her side, she could face anything, as long as she remembered to be cautious and safe. The twinkling stars outside her window seemed to agree, shining down on her with a gentle light. With a peaceful heart, she drifted off into a deep sleep, dreaming of more adventures with her best friend and guardian, Pea. Let's wander further into tonight's stories. Blossom and the Treetop Elf. This story is about Blossom and Azalea, an elf, who together demonstrate the power of resilience as they overcome obstacles and forge a deep friendship in a radiant forest. Once upon a time, nestled in the heart of a radiant forest, lived a girl named Blossom who loved nature. Her golden hair shimmered like the sun, and her eyes sparkled with the wonder of the world around her. Blossom spent her days wandering the woods, learning the songs of the birds and the whispers of the trees. One cold autumn evening, as the leaves turned shades of orange and red, Blossom heard a faint cry for help. She followed the sound to find an injured elf named Azalea, lying beneath the treetop, their realm high in the canopy. Azalea's wings, usually vibrant and full of life, were torn and tattered. Despite the pain, Azalea's eyes gleamed with hope. I must return to my village. For my people need me, the elf whispered. Determined to help, Blossom assured Azalea they would get back to the treetop together. Blossom gently cared for Azalea, using her knowledge of the forest to find herbs that would heal. She made a bed of soft leaves and sang songs to soothe Azalea's troubled heart. Days turned into weeks as a bond of friendship grew strong between them. One morning, a fierce storm battered the forest. Trees swayed and branches snapped. Blossom and Azalea sought shelter in a hollow old oak. When the storm passed, they found the path to the treetop blocked by fallen trees. We cannot give up, Blossom said with unwavering determination. We must find another way. The two friends embarked on a new path, facing obstacles with relentless courage. They crossed raging rivers, climbed rocky cliffs, and navigated through dark, dense thickets. Blossom's resilience inspired Azalea, giving the elf strength to carry on despite the pain. As they journeyed, Blossom and Azalea discovered hidden wonders of the forest, glowing flowers that only bloomed at night, and ancient trees that told stories of old. Finally, when they reached the base of the enormous oak that led up to the treetop, an exhausted but joyful Azalea hugged Blossom. You have given me more than just help. You have taught me the true meaning of resilience, Azalea said with gratitude. With the strength she had regained, Azalea fluttered her wings, weak but healing, and with Blossom's unwavering support, ascended back to her village in the canopy. Blossom watched, her heart swelling with joy and pride, as Azalea's people welcomed their brave elf home. Blossom's and Azalea's journey spread through the village, becoming a tale of courage and friendship. And every time the forest whispered the name Blossom, it was with love and reverence for the girl who proved that true resilience is forged in the company of friends. Thank you for listening. Sweet dreams and peace.